go number pad 7 and make sure you're in top view or top orthographic. We're going to add text, so you go to the add menu and text, and you can see the text highlighted in yellow, but it's inside your object. So now we need to go GZ and lift it up out of the object. Now we can go to the properties tab and click on the A symbol and look for extrude under geometry. Extrude it out a little bit until it's easy to see and easy to read and can be tall enough for what you need. Something like mine will do. Once you've got it, you can go tab and go into edit mode and change the text to whatever you would like it to be. Don't make it too long because the key fob is only a small item and the text will be hard to print if it's too small. Go back into top view with number 7 and move your text using the G for grab, and S for scale, and R for rotate, and move it around until it's sitting on your object how you would like, and so that it's nice and easy to print as big as you can. That way you'll be able to read it when it's printed. When you're happy with this, we can then change the font type. But just before we do that, we'll just move it down, GZ. And if you lose your text highlight and you can't grab it, go to your outliner and click on it there. Move it down till it's down inside the base, not so far that it goes all the way. If it needs adjusting, SZ will change the size of it. When you're happy with that and it's sticking out the top enough, we'll now change the font type. We go back over to our properties and click on the font folder. That should bring up the folder. Some of the Macs you'll have to go back through the C drive to find it, but most of the Macs nowadays open that folder. I've changed mine to a Baskerville. You can pick whatever you like. You can readjust it a little bit after you've changed the font, because all fonts print a little bit differently in size. I think mine is okay now. I can get as big a text as I can on the small item, the small base. Now I need to go to Object and Convert, and I'm going to convert it to Mesh. Now when we go to Tab, you can enter Edit mode. You can see all the faces there. Lots of faces. We need to get rid of some of those, and mostly we need to get rid of vertices that are not doing anything. So while it's highlighted with the A, go to Clean Up and Merge by Distance. You can see here I've deleted 4,744 vertices that were not needed. All right, the next thing is we've got to clean up the faces a little bit. So we've got too many faces there at the moment. So we go to the modifiers in the properties tab. And we decimate. Decimate means to break apart and lessen, break it down. We're just using planar. And 5 degrees should be okay, no problem. And because we're in object mode, we can just apply it straight away. Now when I go into edit mode with tab edit, I don't have anywhere near the amount of faces and lines. They're a lot less, which will make it easier to print. Back to tab, back to object mode, and we're now going to join the two together. Notice I've got the base selected. We're going to Boolean, and then we're going to union the base with the text, and we select the text by the eyedropper. Move it over the top of the text. And once again, we are in object mode, so we can apply straight away. If you're in edit mode, you've got to swap back to object mode. You can see that we've got faces sharing vertices here. So we select the font, the text, and now go GZ and move the text off our object. We can either delete that text above, or we can hide it with the little eye. Notice I've got some black areas here. Now that's an indication that there's something wrong with the mesh. It's not a big issue, and mostly small items, the printer software will fix it anyway. In this case, I'm going to leave it. I've moved it around and had a look at it. I've also explored what it is that happened. I'm not worrying about it. I'm not changing it. So we go to 3D print. But if you don't have the 3D print and can't check all, go to your Edit Preferences, click on Preferences, and in the add-ons and the search bar, type Print, and make sure there's a check mark on the Mesh 3D Print toolbox. Okay. Now, the N key brings up this side menu, the N for no, and you click on the 3D print, and these numbers are pretty good. I've had thousands of problems, and the printer has still worked quite well. I'm moving my object so that I can see the text reasonably easy, and there's a reason for that, and you'll see as we come through. Notice I forgot to click on the base there. That's why I couldn't find the 3D print settings. I go down to Cleanup and Distorted. Now when I click Make Manifold, I'm watching the text very closely. If I make manifold and text disappears, it means I've got to start again with the lettering or the text. That looks okay. Even my little problem spot is okay, hasn't disappeared. So now I just need to go Transform, Volume, 100. I found this just works on the printer, so there's nothing special about it. It just seems to import into the printer quite well. Everything is still good on my key fob, so I now need to export. It will export the STL file next to your original blend file, and the two little forward slashes make that happen in the export setting. We've zoomed out a little bit just to check, make sure everything's okay. Now, here in my my folders, I've got the STL file right next to my Blender file, and that's it. Happy printing.